I would like to find out if it also affected where you're from, the part of Ukraine where you're from.
Yeah, but right now it's almost fully destroyed. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they were not affected.
I mean, it's still like they can hear the bombs and stuff. They can. It's there. Sometimes I used to talk like to my mom and I hear something happening.
No.
Yeah, typical kind of old school kind of situation where your parents decide for you. That was my situation, like the whole life. I didn't really have a choice, and I was always rebellious. I had a lot of suppressed emotions and anger because I always felt like I wasn't treated. Yeah, so
But what does that? I'm sorry.
no, it's okay.
Like, why are you only proud of me when I'm successful, but you always looked at me as a failure? Like, why were you not pushing me as your daughter? Why were you not doing those things? So that's why it's really painful, where you like give the whole family, literally the whole family, including my siblings, nobody would.
He starts the first sentence is Ukraine hasn't died yet. That's the
What?
Yes, ще не вмерла Україна. That's the first thing. At all the national holidays, football games, ще не вмерла Україна. Ukraine hasn't died yet.
Hello colleagues, welcome back to Career and Corporate Hub. Welcome back to season 3 of Career and Corporate Hub podcast. This season is, I'm quite excited about it because I'm interviewing people from different parts of the world. So it means a lot of learning for me and a lot of learning for you too as well. So one thing I love about the Career and Corporate Hub podcast is learning about different career journeys, career growth, and how people have navigated their career growth. I mean, I'm talking about people with who come from different career backgrounds. And I think one of the episodes that have really inspired me to read is from season 1 when I interviewed Dr. Maomera. I will say this a lot because a lot of people ask me, how did you develop the reading habit? And it started from this podcast where I asked, how do you manage to read 52 books a year? Like that's like 52 weeks. That means you're reading one book a week. So, and then he explained how he reads it. So please go check out that episode. And that's where my love for books started, setting a target. So today I'm interviewing someone that is also from a different country. And so stay tuned. If it's your first time joining in, please make sure that you subscribe if you really love this content, and also share, comment, let's engage. Who would you like to see also in the podcast? What type of information would you like to also, hear from this podcast? Most importantly, when I'm interviewing guests, please do let me know if you would like to connect with you, because this is also a connecting platform, networking platforms as well. And for people who've asked their contact details from other guests, I will give them to you. So be patient, don't worry. And today I'm joined by Annette. Is that how I pronounce your name?
Yeah, Annette, perfect.
Okay, so I'm like thinking Annette. How do you say it? Like, so you from Ukraine?
Yeah.
So in Ukraine, what language do you speak?
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Do you have English in Ukraine?
I mean, we study English at school.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but we speak Ukrainian and Russian languages.
Ah, okay, I see. So how would you say it, like in Ukrainian?
So my real name, because Annette is not my real name. Yeah.
Where is Annette coming from?
I will tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Yeah.
Yes.
So my real name in Ukrainian is Hanna.
Hanna.
Hanna. It's not. It's like.
Hanna.
Yeah, but not Hannah. It's like Hannah is H. Hanna. In between G and H, there is a sound that we have.
Just spell it.
Hanna. Ganna. But it's not like Ganna. It's Hanna. Yeah, it's Hanna.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, my name is
That's
almost
actually a beautiful
the
name.
same with Ghana. Like I was like,
yes.
Yeah, but it's like double N.
Yeah.
I was studying French since I think grade 5 or 6, and Annette is the French version of Anna or Hanna. So yeah, Russian version is Anna, Hanna, and then Annette. And at some point, all my friends, all my classmates at school started calling me Annette. And I just picked up on that habit, and I just started introducing myself as Annette like long time ago. Yeah,
and is it part of your identity, your ID document?
Not yet, but
Okay.
I will be changing. Like I will be updating the passport. So I am planning to see like if it's possible to actually change my name to Annette.
Oh my god! Because I know a lot of people who change their names like a old age basically. Not, I mean, we're not too old. How old are you, if you don't mind?
Of course, no, 31.
Okay, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should say she's my peer because I'm like 35. So
Yeah, we are in the 30s. This like the beautiful, beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So like usually like just when they get to their 30s, they like change their name. So
Yeah,
it's
that's the 30s thing.
really, maybe they say you like could get self-discovery in your
It hits you
30s.
differently. It hits you
So-
differently. And yeah, my life changed last year when I. Oh my
Yeah.
god, everything totally totally different person.
Okay, well, what happened?
Many things happened when I think I started feeling like a woman for the first time ever. Like I've never been afraid to age. I was
Yes.
I was owning it. I was
Okay.
owning like
That's what happens when you turn 30.
Yeah.
It really feels like this world that really never existed before. And you look at certain things, you're like, why was I bothered by this? Why was I bothered by that? And it feels like you know yourself better. And that's why I also feel like it's quite important that once you get to that self-discovery, you then invest more in like really finding yourself, because there's more to it.
Yeah,
There's really more to
true,
it.
true. But
Yeah.
also, it's like there was no. You feel. I somehow felt the age. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt it. Like you don't feel in your 20s anymore, right?
Yes,
Like you don't feel as dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you don't.
Yes.
If you do stupid things, it's a different level. You're like, if you do something crazy or something, you're like, I'm 30. So yeah, but a lot of things changed. The relationships with people,
for me as well.
relationships with myself, but something that I lost on the way and something that I'm rediscovering right now is that silliness and craziness. I a little bit forgot how to have fun. Like I got lost in that. I'm 30.
What? I'm trying to really understand. Like how?
I don't know. I used to be crazy, like silly. I used to do a lot of bets, and I used to.
Maybe one example.
Okay, the one that I think I was 19 at that time, and it was the summer, and I was working as a waitress at a restaurant in Crimea. And I remember a friend told me this story. He was a sushi chef, and we had a conversation like 5 years after that, and he was like, I will never forget this day. He was like, do you remember this day? I was at the kitchen, and there was this girl. She enters the kitchen, and I give her like origami flour made of the napkin. She takes the flour and she eats it in front of me. She just like
No, made out of napkin.
And like with a poker face, straight face, without saying a single word, she eats the flour, she swallows it, and she leaves the kitchen.
Was she also part of the?
And I was like, who the hell was that? She was like, no way, you don't remember? It was you. I was like, what?
Wait, you ate it? Oh no.
Poker face without saying like a single word. I don't remember that. And he was like, that was the moment I fell in love with you. I was like, this girl, that's her. Like that's
crazy though.
Yeah, I know. And I was
did
like,
you end up
oh my
dating?
God. We did, but yeah, nothing worked out. But yeah, he was really in love with me. But yeah, things didn't work out. But that was like something I would do, without any explanations, without anything. It's like if you get it, you get it. If you vibe, you vibe. If you don't, you don't. But now these days, with all the aging and everything, I feel like I think too much about what people might think, and you don't allow yourself to be that like crazy, to be that like free soul and do whatever, no matter how.
But it doesn't look like that. Like when I look at your Instagram page, it doesn't say much of what would people say. It's like I'm living, I'm doing me, and this is what I love, and I'm gonna go for it. That's what I see when I see like your Instagram page.
I think that's what I want to feel, you know. But I think that I used to feel that way.
Okay.
But then I lost myself a little bit, and I'm still on the journey of like finding and figuring out and rediscovering and building this like new personality, new identity. But yeah, I used to be like I was that at some point, and then I think I'm following the old like routines, the old patterns.
Yeah.
But it's not entirely how I feel. And not all the time. Yeah, sometimes I'm there, sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? What is happening? Like, it's, yeah.
I think we're going to get to that a bit later. I want us to start with you growing up in Ukraine. And I think what comes to mind, you know, when I think of Ukraine, I think of the war. Like, how would you paint a picture of how Ukraine is like when, you know, to somebody who doesn't know Ukraine at all?
I love my country very much.
Yes.
I wouldn't be who I am without spending almost my whole life in Ukraine, half of it. But Ukraine has been suffering and struggling for decades. Our whole nation has gotten into this victim mindset long time ago. The whole literature, everything that we were presented and raised on, me personally, slavery. We had our own slavery.
Really?
Yep, until the end of the 19th century. And it was like, it's a big thing in our literature, and everything is about struggle. Everything.
I'm trying to understand how slavery looks like. For example, in like the Black community, when you say slavery, you're talking about maybe white people, like, you know, putting Black people into slavery. That's basically how I would look at it. But Ukraine
white
is
people
like
putting white people.
But how?
Our own people. Like, we had this social, also like different levels, layers of and the simple villagers, the poor people, they were working for the richer ones, for the ones who had the money. They were owning them, they were buying them. Yeah, they were buying the whole families. Yeah.
That is horrible.
And people had to work for them. And at some point, like, our books are about that. Our literature, our poetry is about that. Like, we need to get out from chains, and we need to get free, and you know, breaking through all of that. But when you really read into that, it's all about struggle. It's not about we have already like broke through or anything. It's all about like we are always constantly being in the struggle for centuries.
I'm looking at you and I'm just thinking of also how South Africa is painted, or how Black people are painted. When you look at like the books, the movies, it's about struggles only, but never something good that, you know, has come out of you know, the country or somewhere. But the truth is, there's quite a lot. Because and I'm happy that you're actually bringing this up, because when somebody thinks of Ukraine, the only thing that they would look at is like struggles, then what you're saying, and also the war. But there's more to that.
Yeah. Of course. It's, but like what you're asking me about, like the whole like how would I see Ukraine being painted is, it's a woman, a beautiful woman, covered with like the flowers, flower wreath, wearing traditional clothes, that put chains on herself by choice. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. Yeah, even our hymn starts, the first sentence is, Ukraine hasn't died yet. That's the
what?
Yes, ще не вмерла Україна. That's the first thing. At all the national holidays, football games, ще не вмерла Україна. Ukraine hasn't died yet.
What does it mean?
It's the mentality. It's the mentality that we've been living on, this like negative, I don't know, years of struggles. They still like, they are within our DNA, you know. And some people, they're trying to break through, and like, and they have. But those are like the outcasts and rebels. Those are not the ones who follow the crowd. They don't like, they choose not to stay in that struggle. They choose to live a new life. Because Ukraine is like, it's beautiful. It's we have a lot of like sunflower fields. We have like the wheat fields. Bread is a traditional food, like bread. We have a saying, bread is the head of everything. But again, it comes from the hard work and slavery. And everybody like spending
the slavery part, because of then the farming, then like you need more people to go. Okay, I
Yeah.
see. Way now it definitely would come in. Okay, but it's quite interesting because I always look at it as white people always protect like their own people, and I would look at how is Ukraine part of Europe. I'm sorry, I
Yes,
don't
yes,
do
yes, yes.
geography, so
It is. It is.
yes, I'm gonna read this. I think I must actually read like a geography more. Um, but the European countries, like, they don't encourage slavery. They don't encourage, like, for example, if you're doing manual labor, for example, you're working as a house as a maid, like the prices are very high. Like,
Not really.
probably not I know in Germany, like, they can't afford to have helpers because the prices are very high, like they make them high. And I would assume that it's also to prevent that slavery, that you make your own people
Maybe
to.
in the well-developed countries like Germany, like in the
Okay,
wealthy countries, like
okay,
maybe, I
I
don't
know
know,
Denmark is also
Norway,
the
Denmark,
same.
yeah.
Yes,
But
yes.
like the countries like, I don't know, Ukraine, Poland, no.
Then it's not
Belarus,
the same.
no, absolutely not the same. The majority of countries, even, I don't know, I'm not
Yeah,
sure about France, like Czech Republic, I'm not sure. But
yeah.
yeah, our people have done a lot of damage to our people.
Yeah, so it's like your
Yeah, we went.
own, it's like self-inflicted, basically, in
Yeah,
how like things are turning out.
yeah. We have a very big ego, and we have this kind of like warrior mindset that like we have to prove something to the world, and we're gonna fight for everything. It's also a part of our DNA. It's like, that's the reason I think why, like, Ukrainian women, almost everybody that I know, we can do so many things, and we are ready to fight at any point.
Is it not like then like Russia, because Ukraine, and then you also speak like Russian, like there's that influence as well. Is it not? Because when people talk about, I was actually invite somebody from Russia also, when like the way Russian comes, it comes as aggressive, like it's like you're fighting already when you're
Yeah,
talking.
yes.
Is it
The
not like
sounds.
because of that influence also?
Ukrainian is very soft. It's much softer.
Okay. So
Yeah.
say hello, how are you?
Доброго дня, як ваші справи?
Okay.
It's
Okay.
much softer. Yeah, it's like a very poetic language.
Okay. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, and Russian is like здравствуйте, как дела? There's a lot of like g. Yeah.
Yes.
Ukrainian is more, it's a little bit softer. Yeah. We have, I mean, we share a part of the history, of course. We share a lot of things. But yeah, it's it is a little bit different, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, I have both roots. I have like Russian roots, I have Ukrainian roots, I have Polish roots. It's a mix, and I'm sure that there is more.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. I heard that no, let's not talk about this. We are here for your career journey, and that's why I want to stick to. But before we get to that, I just want to understand, like, in terms of like the war, we saw it in like in news, and not really something that I was following, but I would like to find out if it also affected where you're from, the part of Ukraine where you're from.
Yep. So my city is a part of Donbass, and Donbass and Lugansk, they were the first two regions that were invaded by Russia like a long time ago.
Okay. Yeah.
My city is the last city that was still a part of Ukraine. It wasn't invaded back then, but right now it's almost fully destroyed. Yeah, so I think that my home, like our building, I think it's still there. It's not destroyed, but my school, the city is the ruins basically.
And your family?
They live in central Ukraine.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they were not affected.
I mean, it's still like they can hear the bombs and stuff. They can. It's there. Sometimes I used to talk like to my mom, and I hear something happening.
No.
Yeah.
But we're not scared, like.
People got used to it, it's insane. People got used to it. Like, if you live with this reality, I think it's, of course, it really affects the psychic a lot. You're never going to be the same person. I think that all the people around the world, the ones who go through war, you're never the same. You are never the same. The things you have seen, because my friend, she went to Ukraine after a really long time. Like, in the middle of the war, and she told me that when there would be they bomb the cities, the people are like, oh, I just hope if I die fast. And that's the normal conversation, because everybody's just used to death, and everybody's used to see like the bodies everywhere on the streets. So
No.
even kids, they're like, I hope like if they die fast. They don't struggle. They don't like suffer, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to like dwell too much on what happened to the war, but I think I'm glad that your family is safe. So now looking at like your upbringing, how was it like?
It was
Like
beautiful.
school, how is like school system like in Ukraine?
My childhood was beautiful, absolutely
Mhm.
beautiful.
What-
I was free. Our
Yes.
parents were busy. We were having a lot of fun. I remember like a barefoot childhood, a lot of, I don't know, apricot cherry trees. We were enjoying ourselves. We were always like
Yes.
doing a lot of fun stuff. We were having, I don't know, I had a beautiful, beautiful time back then.
Yeah.
And school was also beautiful. I was an A student. I was that kind of person who is like, who wants to go pick up the, I don't know, the leaves? Me. Who wants to join the dance class? Me. Who wants to organize something? Me. It was
like the most irritating smart kids in the class where we don't want to do that and you just want to do
let's
everything.
do it, guys, but it's so
like,
fun.
no.
It's so exciting. Let's help the world. That was me.
Oh, that's great. I think no wonder you like now in China. So you know, looking at school, you did your primary and then you go to high school.
It's the same. We have like the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
it's up to matric, or you also do A levels. How does it work? Like when you finish to go to university.
What is A levels?
I would be able to explain them. But so apparently, with A levels, you choose. I mean, I think it's decided like when you're doing, I think grade 8, when you're a top student. That's the stream you do, and then yeah, I think you finish with a diploma instead of finishing like with like a matric that gets you into university. If I'm not explaining it correctly, I did an interview, talking about the A levels. I think it's quite clear there.
Check it.
Yeah.
If you need more information,
exactly.
just check it.
How does it work then?
My normal schools in Ukraine, we have just one building for primary and middle and high school. It's the same building, and let's say like the first floor is the kids, the primary school, and then the second and the third floor, everything is messed up. Like it's all middle school, high school. Everybody is like everyone's together.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you finished with grade 12.
Yeah. We when I was studying, it was grade 11, and then they changed it to grade 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
11.
Yeah, we had 11 grades.
And how would it work? So that's like with your 11th grade certificate, you'd go to university.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like you say, we learn a lot from this channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now finishing matric, your subjects, were you doing like what type of subjects were you doing, or modules? I don't know what you call them.
Just subjects. We didn't have we didn't have modules, and we also didn't have like a choice. So you're given the schedule, and it's the same for everybody. Like my class, it was the same, pretty much the same class from grade 1 to grade 11. We go together through all the classes, like everything.
What?
Yeah, that's how it works.
And I'm like thinking, okay, if I want to do, like when you say the same, like you do math, science, geography,
all this
biology,
all together. Yeah.
So there's not like choice that I don't want to do science, I want to do accounting.
No.
Do you do accounting as well, or it's not?
At that time when I was studying, we didn't have accounting. No, I think that we didn't have like any social studies or anything like that. Yeah.
Business studies.
Nothing.
Okay, was it like maybe for your school, then the other school would have it, or just
maybe
in general
some private
in Ukraine?
schools might, but in general, no. In general, no. But my school was a language school. It was a linguistic school. Like I was studying in a really, really cool school, and we were participating in like exchange programs. I graduated from school in the States. I won in the program, and I was an exchange student, so I went to study in the States. And like 5 of my classmates, they did the same thing.
And this is public school?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you went to the States for how many?
10 months.
Okay.
School year. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And how was it like? I'm just like thinking moving from one country to another at like a young age.
It was beautiful.
So you had a hosting family.
Yep.
I'm just thinking of something that I see in movies.
Yeah. I was that.
Okay.
I was that. Like we had a group of
Yes.
weird exchange students that you might see in the series or movies sometimes. Like you
Yes.
know. Yeah.
But you see them, a lot of them so naughty. Like, I'm just like thinking of the
Yeah.
movie scenes and
No, we were
and
good. We were good.
okay.
There were two guys who were like absolutely they didn't enjoy. They stay there. They were from Denmark and Sweden. Those two, they were like the bad boys. You know, they were like we don't care. And there was a guy from Kuwait, my
Okay.
friend. So
Okay.
we were really like close. We were the good students. We were like the good ones.
If you are watching and you've hosted school kids before, please do let me know. I would like to feature you in this channel or podcast. I would like to understand how it works. Like, how do you volunteer to host people? How everything works. Okay, so now you finish from USA. What happens afterwards?
I would like to stop just a little bit in the
Yes,
USA.
yes, let's talk
That
about
was
that.
a really life-changing time.
Okay.
I was living with an old lady, and she had a son, and she always dreamed to have like a daughter. She didn't know what it was like. What were the challenges of having a a girl living in the house, a Ukrainian girl, because we have like totally two different cultures.
Yes.
And I was living in a family of rednecks and hunters. I was living on the farm, and I like dived
So
in a
you're
very like.
hunting also.
I wasn't hunting, no. I was very against it, and I was freaking out when I would see like dead deers or something like that. I did not want to try deer meat. I was like, no, this is cruel. This is violent. Don't give. Like, I am a chicken person. No. And
Yeah.
but it was fun. It was
But
fun.
diving you were doing.
What?
You said you were diving also.
No.
into the-
I mean, diving in the culture.
Okay.
Like not the actual
Okay.
diving. No.
Yes.
I dive deep in like in the in a different kind of culture, and it was amazing. I was doing art the whole year there, and actually at the end of the year they have this thing when the universities like the university and college representatives, they go to schools and they offer scholarships. They invite students to join the schools, and there was one New York Design University, if I'm not wrong, and they invited me to join the scholarship, like to participate. And when I told my mom, she was like, "You're not participating in anything. You're taking your stuff, you're going home,
No.
you're doing the exams, you're graduating here, and you're applying to university here." So I was a little bit heartbroken. But yeah, she was really worried that I would not pass the exams, even though I was an A student like my whole life.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
because
what did that do to you? Like,
I was really mad at her for a long time. And even when I got home, I was thinking maybe to apply to study like architecture or design or something, and she didn't allow me to do that. I think that she had her own fears, and she had little belief in me at that time.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
applied to 15 different faculties, 5 different universities. I was accepted to 14 out of 15. Yeah, and I continued with linguistics. That's my major, French and English. I also studied Latin, a little bit of Spanish. And like that was the job, artist is not the job, like the typical thing. You cannot be an artist, you can like.
Because that's what you do now.
Yeah.
So I'm like going back to your mom not wanting you to do, like what you wanted, and then which is like art, I must say, and then you ended up doing linguistic. Like, I'm just thinking, how did it make you feel? Like, didn't you feel like she derailed your dreams, or like achieving your dreams in a way?
I was in this like typical kind of old school kind of situation where your parents decide for you. That was my situation like the whole life. I didn't really have a choice, and I was always rebellious. I had a lot of suppressed emotions and anger because I always felt like I wasn't treated fairly.
Yes,
and I wasn't allowed what I wanted to do.
Like to express yourself the way you want to.
Yeah. So I was mad. I think that up to 28, I had a very weird relationship with my mom. I was really mad at her. Like, I was blaming her for many things. Because I love English. I absolutely love English grammar. it's like it's my kink. I am obsessed with it. You know, I used to be a business English teacher, grammar teacher. That's something that I always like. It excited me. But comparing to art, that's how you express. Like grammar is something that you can learn, it brings you pleasure, but I cannot express myself in grammar. It's very like
very structured in a way. Like you can't really
can't create that much.
Think outside of the box in a way, like you would do with art. Because you look very, your art looks very expressive.
That's the goal, I think.
Yeah. So now, do you think a lot of art then is influenced around, you know, how your childhood like, how your mom makes you feel? Because sometimes it will also feel like your mom what, if you don't mind to share, what does your mom do? And the reason I'm asking, sometimes our parents want to live their dreams through us, and now they try to channel you to like the path that they would have loved, and it also affects you because this is not something that you wanted.
I think that's what she was doing, to be honest. I think that's what she was doing, because I thought that she was an A student myself, and I thought that that's why she was so hard at me, like on me when I was at school. And then I somehow, I think I was like on the 3rd year of university, and I found her like diploma, and it was like C, B, and I was like, what? My mom wasn't an A student. No way.
So you thought she was like you?
Yeah, I thought that she wanted me to be like her, and that's why she was pushing me always, you know?
Okay. Whereas she's now living her dream through you.
Yeah, and then I realized that, oh my God, that was her way, like, of kind of trying to support me and like choosing the best life for me, but it wasn't necessarily what I wanted. So yeah, I think that's what she was doing.
So now, going back to you living in the States, then you finish, you go back to Ukraine because she wanted you back home.
Yeah, the first, so also exchange students, we had like different schools had different graduation dates and stuff like that, and she didn't allow me to stay for my graduation in the States. I had to leave with the first date, the first flight, like option. We had a few options during from I think the end of May till the end of June.
Okay.
And she asked me to leave like with the first flight.
And did she explain why?
Because she was afraid that I wouldn't pass the exams. She was afraid that I'd fail. Yeah, but it's you know, it's the fear of our parents that they project on us.
Yeah.
And of course I was blaming her like for a very long time after that, but then I understand she was just afraid. She was just a woman who was afraid that her daughter will not have like a beautiful future, you know. Yeah, so
but what does that, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I thought I might cry today.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. No, tears are fine. We can cry.
Yeah. No, the thing is, like, stories of sort of like resenting your parents sort of also close to my heart, because I think it's like, even still today, I still haven't really, I don't want to say forgiven in a way. I think I've forgiven, but I haven't forgotten. It's something that like comes up there and there. Like, for me, it was like I didn't have a parent who believed in me, and it affected how I show up everywhere, because I felt like I was stupid, you know, because at home I was told that I was stupid in a way. So now something that really affects you because of like sort of like how you show up because of your parents, it's really painful.
I mean, it's the foundation. What our parents tell us is the basics. I understand.
Yeah. And how's your relationship now with her?
I did a lot of work. I finished 5 years in therapy in February. For the past, you know, when I started doing art, I started doing a lot of self-work, spiritual energy, physical practices, a lot of things, because I wanted to understand why do I feel what I feel, why do other people feel what they feel. And living with so much anger inside you. I used to be a bully at school at some point. Yep. I was bullied, and I used to be a bully, like a bad bully. I used to fight. I used to,
in
like,
high school or in varsity?
End of middle school. No, not university. Middle school. Not high school, middle school.
Okay.
Yeah,
but what in middle school, what then like created it? Was it still like how you were treated at home? Or?
Yeah, I had a lot of suppressed anger. I had that's like I had rage within me, because I was constantly told that you can't do this or you can't do that, but there was no explanation. And then I would just boil, and I would be like, but why? Explain to me why. Like, and especially it was very often connected to art. Like, I remember we were doing some school project, and I wanted to buy spray paint and paint the t-shirts, and my mom would say no. And I would be like, why? And she'd be like, because I said so. And then I would just go crazy. I would be like, why?
Did you try art and maybe was never successful?
No, she never
at it
tried
in a
art.
way?
She never tried art.
But
no.
what does she do now?
She's retired.
Okay.
Yeah, she's in her 60s. She's retired, but she used to own a shop. It was like the healthy, like, supplies, medical supplies, like herbal stuff. She's also very much into spirituality and like energy practices and stuff like that. But yeah, she used to own her business as well for a really long time.
Okay, because the reason why I'm asking, you know, you may find that she does not want you to go into the same journey that she went to. Maybe she was avoiding that. And sometimes our parents, they want us to do like these traditional professionals where you must be a doctor, you must be an engineer, you must be, for me, it was not even, an engineer was not even an option, basically. Like, yeah, so it's really.
What did you do? Like,
I did engineering.
Oh, okay.
But it's only later in life where I realized that how do I think that I'm stupid when I did engineering? Like, engineering was hard, very hard. But still, because of how my dad would really compare me with my younger sister who was very bright, and then she would like study to become a doctor. She was like, he would look at her as like, oh, very smart. Even when we come back from school, he would say, oh no, I don't even want to see her results because I know she's done well. Bring your results. You know, it would like make me shake in a way, and I would feel like I'm stupid, so I wouldn't even put an effort because it feel like even if I put an effort, I would fail anyway, you know.
Nobody cares, right? Why
Yeah,
try?
yes, and it's one of those things where some students would would give up, you know, pursuing their studies because it's like sometimes you do things because you want to see your parents being proud. But if you don't have a parent that's like, you know, cheering you to say like, you're smart, you this, then you feel like, why must I continue? Whereas there's nobody that I'm going to make proud. So that's why for me, also having this podcast is more of create your own career path, because your future solely depends on you, not on anybody else. Because no matter how much you look at it as, even if I continue, you're not going to be proud. No, you have to make yourself proud. So that's all that matters. So it's more of your past should not define you, your upbringing should not define your future. So create that path for yourself, because when you get to a certain stage in life, you'd realize that I'm doing all this for myself. Because then when you turn out great, like having like a flourishing career, it's like you who like feel proud, you know. Although people would come to you to say, yeah, so only when you're successful, people then are proud of you. And it's like, why are you only proud of me when I'm successful? But you always looked at me as a failure. Like, why were you not pushing me as your daughter? Why were you not doing those things? So that's why it's really painful, where you like give the whole family, literally the whole family, including my siblings, nobody would say, okay, you're applying for university, must I help you? Nobody said that. It was more of like with my younger sister, where everyone is like, oh, let me help you, everyone wants to get involved, because then they see that, okay, there's like potential, there's like great future. And then now when you're like, okay, now that I'm here, probably like in China, or rather just anywhere in my career, it's like, oh, you actually did it. We thought you were not going to be something in life.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
And
our parents.
I've literally had those things. So it's just like, what do you mean?
Oh my god. But
what do you mean? Yeah. So it's really like, oh, what are you doing to me?
They didn't believe in themselves, you know. The thing is, everything they project on us is that most probably they didn't believe in themselves.
Yeah.
And it's just easy to project that on your children. And because you already know that you are
Mm.
somehow a failure in your own eyes, but you don't want to accept it to anyone, but deep you know. So how can you believe in someone, and how can you see someone if you don't believe in yourself?
True.
And from what I've
true.
seen, like in the families that have a few siblings, because I'm the only child.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's much better. You don't have anyone that you've been compared to.
Oh, trust me, all my classmates, all the neighbors' daughters, there are
Yeah.
enough of other girls. They're always there. You know,
Oh my
if
God.
it's not your own siblings, they'll
Yeah.
always find someone.
Look at who's that
Yeah,
daughter.
yeah,
Look at who's
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
for me, like, it was like, the smart kids at home were like put on this pedestal, like, you must be like this one, this.
Oh,
And the ones that were not like doing so well, it was like, yeah, you guys, this, that. So
you
it
just
was like,
exist.
it really affected us. And I remember I felt grade 11. And now one of my sisters was like, maybe this is a lesson that you should take going forward, that you should like really work hard, and maybe you are going to do well in matric. And if you had passed now to go to matric, maybe you're going to fail. And it really sort of like lifted my spirit, because really I worked very hard when I got to matric. I worked very hard and I passed well. And looking back, I was like, if I did not fail, because my life was also different, like I had like a big influence from friends who were like naughty, and that's why I felt, ended up failing grade 11. Yeah. But anyway, coming back to you.
No, but thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. So you were rebellious. Yeah, you were also
Not
like.
necessarily. Funny enough, I'm like, I've always been scared, and at home they always look at me as like a rebellious child, because I love wearing shorts, and I would go out wearing shorts, but I was so very scared. I never drank alcohol, like in high school, also university, I think, yes. But I was always looking at somebody who's like partying all the time, and
So the
I
spirit is
just
there, but also the fear is there.
yes.
Oh.
Yes. Correct. So it was more like that, but then they would always look at me as somebody that's like very rebellious. Yeah. But yeah, so
And you weren't even rebellious.
no.
Now imagine if you would go like fullest,
No.
if you use your full potential and being rebellious. What would that be? Who would that woman be?
And sometimes I feel like, what was I doing in my like teen years? What was I doing in my 20s? Because I was like really so although the way I would dress up, people would think otherwise about me, and I was like, what was I doing like in my young years, because I was not doing all like things that you would like, experience, like to have a lot of experiments. Yeah. But yeah, going back to you.
Families, parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we would never be the way we are without those
Oh no,
experiences.
definitely. I mean, there's a lot that I look back that has really built resilience. And for me, studying it was more of, I want to show my dad that I'm smart. Having that rage that I want to do this, I want to do that, and at the same time, it feels like maybe I turned out the way I am because of then the way he was like treating me. But at the same time, it's like, no, I don't want to be treated this way. I want to be treated properly. Yeah. So it's like, yeah.
You know, something interesting that I have figured out this year, and it was right before my birthday, right before I turned 31, and I think that the real forgiveness for my mom started there. For the first time in my life, I saw her as a human being, not as a child of hers, but as another woman.
Okay.
And I had so much pain because I was always treating her as a child, but I'm a grown-ass woman. And I saw that even now, as well as back then, she very often did not know what she was doing. And she was only capable of showing the love that she received herself. And me, I was asking, we as children, we always ask for more and more and more. But the thing is, our parents can only show us what they have. And if she didn't see better, she would not be able to show me better. So then things a little like they changed. I cried I cried for so many days. Like when I really saw her as someone who gets lost, who has a lot of guilt, who is also scared and afraid, and who also needs support, and who also needs love because she has never seen it. My dad left her when she was pregnant. I've never seen my dad. And then I realized, and she never talked about him, and I was always mad at her for that. I was like, why don't you tell me who my dad is? But then I realized she's so hurt still up till this day because a man left her when she was pregnant, when she was having a baby inside her.
Yeah.
How much pain like must there be? And I reminded her of him somehow. I have a different personality from my mom. We are alike in some ways, but I'm sure that there was a lot of reminders how much pain you must go through. And she did not finish the pregnancy. She gave me birth, and she gave me everything that she could give me, you know. And when I started thinking about that, and I was like, oh my god, I was always asking and asking, but I'm at the age when I can already start giving love, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just like, my god. And then when I started like little by little giving her love, she was like, what the hell is happening, what is going on? Like, she would be shocked. I put a painting on the auction. I put my biggest painting, Goddess, the one that you just showed me. Her birthday is a week later, like a week after my birthday, and we had a video call for her birthday, and she was sad, and she told me that they live in a dormitory for refugees, like in the central Ukraine. It's a really nice place, but she told me that the fridge in their room exploded, and she was really sad. And I was like, I haven't been in a very good financial situation for a while, but I was like, what can I do as her daughter? So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put a painting on the auction, and whatever I make, I'm just gonna send it to her. And for me, like, even making that decision, it took me a week, like, to bring myself together, and then I did it, and it was beautiful. And then when I video called her and I told her that, of course I was crying, and she was like, she couldn't believe that I could do something like this for her, because it was out of love. It wasn't out of guilt because I have to, you know. It was out of place of love. I genuinely wanted to help her. And she was not used to that. She was like, I don't know you this way. I've never seen you this way. And then, like, that's the moment I realized she has never experienced this kind of love. I don't know how my grandparents treated her, but my grandma, she's a toxic. My grandma was the one who was comparing me to all my classmates, and it was like beauty-wise, I was the ugly one.
No.
And everybody around me was beautiful.
But you're beautiful.
My grandma did not see that. Yeah, my grandma did not see that. But anyways,
it seems like today we're not even going to talk about like much of your career, because I mean, a lot of things that parents project on us, like the beauty as well. Like, there are people that I've met who said, I turned out this way because my parents told me so much that I'm ugly, and I felt like I was ugly. But when I got to a certain age, then I look at myself beautiful, and it affected me in like a specific area. So it's like
confidence. We don't believe it. And for women, beauty is everything. It's so essential to tell a little girl that she's beautiful, you know. That's what confidence is for us. And I know so many women, like Slavic women, Ukrainian, Russian, we are crazy about beauty. You see how we're always like skinny and thin and everything. You have to have abs, all the crazy diets, all this like facelifts and botoxes and all this kind of stuff. Everything comes from families. Everything comes from families, and everything comes from marriage. If you're not beautiful enough, nobody will will marry you. That's what my granny was telling me from the age 4. She was like, you have to change your character, and you have to put on a little bit of weight, or no man will like you. You have to learn how to cook. Nobody will marry you.
And the problem is when they project like that, it now feels like you have to work hard to become beautiful so that men can look at you differently. But you don't look at yourself as beautiful inside, like what feeling beautiful inside.
You don't see yourself.
Makes you feel beautiful in the outside as well. And that's what matters the most. But it really affects us, because now you work so hard. You try to get anything artificial to make yourself look beautiful. Yeah.
And this is, like, same thing about like stupid and smart. Yeah, it's the basic thing of confidence. No matter how many cool smart things you do, how many of them do you actually notice, right? And the kids that were told from the very young age that they're smart, they're not afraid to fail, they're not. And no matter how many stupid things you do, you don't see yourself as stupid because you weren't told that you were stupid when you were growing up.
And we are scared. I mean, people that were told that they were stupid, you are even scared of trying new things because you're scared of failing, because then failure sort of like affirms that you are stupid. Like it makes it really what is the English word? It validates it.
Yeah.
Like it validates that, yes, you see, I told you that you're stupid. Then you really become scared to even try anything new.
Yeah, so any little thing that doesn't work out is just a confirmation. Yeah, they were right. Why would I, like, what's the sense of living then?
Yeah,
Like, what's the
that's
sense of
true.
creating and
That's
trying new
true.
things and exploring? Yeah, I understand. But then the goal for us is to
Yeah.
break out of those patterns and find that source of, self-respect, beauty, self-love, and everything, and to be able to support us and then give the love to our parents who just weren't able to give us what we needed.
Yeah, that's true. And building confidence is something that I had to do like from scratch. Removing myself from places where I felt like I had to do like a lot of people pleasing. Because I always felt like, okay, you must hear me because I also have something to say, because then I was not heard at home. And it sort of like really affects how you show up socially, because you never show up as the way you want to, but showing up in a way that you want people to perceive you in a specific way. And when I got to my 30s, that's when I said, screw it, I'm just going to be me, I'm going to do me, I'm going to put myself also out there the way I want to. If I fail, I fail. If everything goes well, it goes well. And when I started telling myself also that everyone has got they're entitled for their own opinion. If whatever that I'm putting, I do a lot of career coaching, like sharing career information, and I would feel like if you don't agree with it, it's okay. We all have different journeys. So once I told myself that, I gained confidence, and I just need to gather my strength to sort of like get to a level where I'm not crying anymore when I think of my upbringing. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
It feels like therapy. It feels like therapy.
Yeah, hello, I'm Annette, and I make people cry.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you took me really you took me back to a place where I didn't want to go back to. I really tried to avoid this. I tried to go to therapy as well, but I think I'm not
It's painful.
It's
painful. Yeah, but the
is.
interesting thing, why I stopped my therapy, I met a spiritual mentor in Beijing, and in therapy, you will never heal your traumas, because trauma lives in your body. And therapists only talk, and you walk around those traumas for years. I know people who are in therapy for 10 years and they still have the same things. It gets better, and then it becomes an addiction. And you have to work physically with your trauma. And there are almost no people, there are very few people who can do that. Energetical, like energy massage, active meditation, somatic shaking, somatic dances. You shake out the trauma because it's kept like under your skin. Yep. There's a specific like knots everywhere in your body. Like you can feel it. Like, for example, for me, I have very bad blood pressure, and if I like go to a place of trauma, it's here. It starts burning here, like burning. I can't breathe. And that is something like my lungs. I used to have pneumonia when I was at school as well, when I was young. And it's there, and you have to really work physically with those things, and that is also painful, but it's different. Like, that's how you start releasing and really like crying the things out and screaming them out.
Maybe I must try that, because sometimes I remember when I went to one of my therapists, and I said, "You're depressed." I was like, I'm out of here, I'm not doing this anymore. So, but now I would like us to talk about your journey coming to China.
Okay.
How did that come about?
So the faculty where I was studying at some point, China just became a trend. And I have so many people from my university here in China, and from my faculty, not just the university. We had this Alliance Française that created programs for the graduate students. And about my linguistics. In the middle of my master's degree year, I stood up in the middle of the class and I took my documents and I said, I'm done. And I left. I didn't finish my master's. I was like, this is bullshit. What am I doing here? This is useless. I'm not going to use it anywhere in life. That's not what I want to do.
So that's when you were doing your master's in China?
No. In Crimea, back home. like that. So I was born in Ukraine. Crimea is the island in between Russia and Ukraine that was
Okay.
invaded in 2014, and I was living there and studying there.
When it was invaded, were you there?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why the way you spoke about how you know, when a country is invaded, feels like it's like you've lived the experience. So is like, were you affected when it happened?
I was affected because I was Ukrainian, and for me
Yes.
it was weird. But the thing is, there was no invasion. Crimea, the majority of Crimeans never considered themselves as Ukrainians, because the island was given as a gift to Ukraine in 1954. And imagine, like, you've been a part of one country, then someone decides that you're going to belong to another country, and they just literally give the land and the people, and they're like, hello, now you're Ukrainians, and they're like, what the fuck?
So that was Ukraine invading
No, it was a friendly act. Russians gave the island as a gift, kind of, like, to Ukraine.
Yes.
So then in 2014, Russia came back and kind of invaded. Well, they were like tanks, and they were there were people like wearing stuff, armors and stuff like that. But the thing is, Crimea was happy to be back. People did not feel invaded. People felt home. So for me, it was a cry, like I had a crisis of identity. I was crying because I was like, what is happening? I was a young generation. It was a long time ago, so I couldn't understand. So the people of my age and a little bit older, the new generation, the ones that were born like after that, right? Many people left. Many people were like, we're not living here. But majority, the big majority, I have never seen people so happy.
Like now we are back to Russia.
Yeah, I have never seen so many people so happy. And I remember everybody was celebrating. It was like in the middle, like there was a big square, and I have never seen so many people like being so obsessively happy. And I was just standing there crying because I was like, how people were home.
And now you getting up and saying, I'm done. Was it like during the invasion or?
It was before. Oh wait, no. It was after.
Okay.
Yeah, it was after the invasion.
And what do you do afterwards?
I continued my studies. So I continued my studies there, and I actually got the Crimean citizenship to continue my studies. And also we have property in Crimea, so I had to go through the courts to prove a lot of things so that I would get the citizenship, and so that like our property would be safe, and I would be able to continue my studies. My mom stopped talking to me at that time. My family stopped talking to me because it was a betrayal.
Whose property was it?
Mom's.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was like I was registered in there, so there was a chance that like we might lose it, so someone had to take care of it.
Okay.
But she was living in Ukraine.
Your mom?
She was in Ukraine.
Because she wanted you to study in Ukraine.
Ukraine. Yeah. I mean, I started studying in Ukraine because Crimea was Ukrainian, but then it turned to be Russian, like in the middle of my studies. So yeah, I was living there before I came to China, and I was coming to China from Russian Crimea already.
So you did your undergrad and then your postgrad there. Okay.
Just didn't finish.
And how did you like decide that, okay, I'm going to China?
It was a plan. Like we had a plan with my friend from my like my faculty, from my group. We wanted to come here for like half a year using that program, just to like be teachers, because there was teaching programs everywhere.
Okay.
And travel a little bit and then come back. And then things changed because her at that time boyfriend turned to be her fiance. He proposed to her, so she stayed there. Then I was planning to come with my ex, with my boyfriend at that time. We were like having a very serious relationship, and he didn't come. Like I was waiting for him for almost 8 months. He was studying English. His English wasn't that good. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go and you just join me later. So I went. He didn't join me later. We broke up, and I stayed here.
So he joined you here.
He didn't.
And then
he didn't.
You never joined.
No.
Okay. So when you came now, rather before that, your undergraduate was also in linguistic.
Yeah.
Is it like linguistic degree?
French? So it's like French and English literature.
Okay, that's what it's called.
Yeah, that's the master's, and then French, English, linguistics, the bachelor's.
Okay, that's.
I don't speak French.
I'm like trying to understand it. So in every class you're learning languages.
Yeah,
you're learning to speak languages.
Yeah.
but also you're learning to also teach. Like, where do you usually use this? Do you become a translator of
Yes.
languages?
Yep, I can teach. I can both teach back home. Like, I'm
Okay.
certified to teach. I'm certified to translate, but not all kinds of
Okay.
translations. There are
Okay.
different kinds of translations. Like, I wasn't taught a few methods, like synchronical translation, when you like translate at the same time with the person speaking. That's a different skill. Like, people are trained for that. I can't do that. But like normal translations, grammar, all kinds of them. Yeah, I used to translate in Crimea as well. Like, I used to, yeah.
Okay, so you can also do like books reviews, or rather books.
I can, yeah, I can.
Like when somebody's writing a book, then you do like
Editing review.
editing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I never thought about it, but actually I can. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And now let's talk about coming to China. When you came, what did you come here exactly for?
To teach and to be free a little bit. I started teaching. Yeah, my first year I was living not in Beijing, but the city next to Beijing, Huairou, where Mutianyu Great Wall is. Like, it's 1 hour by bus. Yeah, from Dongjimen.
And I just went to the Great Wall like last week.
Oh,
First time since I came to China.
Good for you. I know people who've been living here for years and they never seen Great Wall, so good for you.
I can really agree, because I was not even planning to go like anytime soon. And then my son was like, I want to go to the Great Wall. Then we're like, okay, let's go. Yeah. So now when you came, like, did you have to do like TOEFL certificate? Okay, so
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
But it was 8 years ago.
Okay.
And
8 years ago.
Yeah, 8 years ago, there were many teachers. There were many like Ukrainians and Russians who could barely say 2 words in English, and they were teaching in schools and kindergartens. Yep. Yeah, a lot. And then there were like new policies during COVID. A lot of people got deported. And right now you can only legally teach if you are a native speaker, or you have like the proper certification. You can get the certification, yeah, like or TOEFL or something. I never got it. Yeah, but that's the thing. So I taught for 1 year, and then after that I switched to drama. I got the training at the drama school, Helena Grady Drama, and then I taught there. I started teaching there.
Okay. And how's teaching like? I mean, like, you coming from varsity, finished your master's, and now you're coming to teach.
I taught before China. I'm an educator, actually.
Really?
I was teaching. I was studying like teenage and kids psychology. Like, it's. I've been teaching. I've been teaching for 13 years now.
Why I never looked at you as a teacher?
Yeah, I'm an amazing teacher.
Because of the art. Because of the art. Like, it's very expressive, I must say. And now, how did you find art? When did you start doing art?
When I started teaching drama, we were making props by ourselves, and I was painting, and some of my colleagues, they were like, "You can paint?" I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "This is amazing." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, I'm actually gonna show her art here. Oh, actually,
yeah,
this is one of her
art. Paula. That's one of the first. Yeah, first, my favorite, iconic.
That is nice. That is nice.
Thank you. Yeah. So you see, I'm a Ukrainian woman whose first artwork was a beautiful Black woman.
How is that? I love your hair, by the way. I'm like,
thank you. I think, I don't know. I believe in past life experiences and stuff like that, and I think that I'm coming from either Africa or South Africa, or somewhere from there.
I've seen you with braids as well.
Yeah. When I was growing up, I never I was always listening to English songs or some. I'm not sure if they were African songs, but I was always listening to something else. Yeah, and I was listening to some rap songs. I was a big fan of Tupac, Biggie G, Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
And I was just I had no friends who would be into the same stuff. It was just me.
I mean, you're from Ukraine. I know Poland is like also very
I mean, we're white. We are very white. Like,
very. I'm sure when you see a Black person, they just like.
Yeah. It just doesn't happen.
Country?
I think that I saw in the States. I started I saw I think maybe I have seen them before. But yeah, I was studying with Black Americans, and they were my friends, and we were really, I don't know. It was beautiful. But I was always like a little outcast, you know. I was a fan of Black Eyed Peas. Like I remember we were having these players, and that was my very first cassette that I bought. It was Black Eyed Peas. I was obsessed. I was doing like breakdance, hip hop, all of that kind of stuff. But it wasn't white music, you know.
And we met when we were doing dancing on my piano.
Yeah, I'm crazy. Yeah. I'm a piano, Afro house. That's my playlist. That's my daily playlist. That's like, and it's been like that for. It's just, I don't know. I know the songs. I know the
Have
songs.
you ever dated a black person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course. Yes, of course.
Okay. From where?
Ghana.
Okay.
Cameroon.
Okay.
Zimbabwe.
What?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to hear next saying that I'm a trans black.
No.
There is a lady who literally like transitioned to be a black person.
You mean like those people who?
No, a white lady who transitioned to be a black person.
No. I think that I have, like, you know, we all are connected to something.
Yeah,
we all have. I believe in collective unconsciousness. I believe that our soul remembers something. So I just think that those are the memories, maybe from my past lives, because like I know the songs by heart. I don't even know the language, Zulu, Xhosa, something. Yeah, but I know the lyrics. You know, I listen to the songs. I'm like, we went to celebrate Africa Day on Sunday with my friends from Benin, and I was singing all the songs, and they were like, how do you know the songs? I was like, guys, how do you not know the songs? They were like,
oh my god,
I don't know. Yeah, it's just, but you know, because of this, because that was my inspiration. Yeah, and the first portraits that I did when I figured out that I want to paint women, it was black women, and like this woman, she lives in New York. I even texted her. I told her that I painted her. She's an influencer, and she's an activist and a feminist. Beautiful. And then another portrait that I painted, it was a photo taken by a Nigerian photographer who lives in New York, Oyediran. He also creates like works of art, beautiful. Yeah, and I had a little bit of identity crisis because I couldn't explain to myself why I'm doing this. You know, when like
you're so connected to black people.
Yeah, but I'm not black.
No,
I'm Ukrainian. Yeah, so it was like, like, why do I do this? I love it, but why do I do it? It took me a few years to actually like give myself a permission to paint whatever I want, you know, and just to be like, I don't need to find explanations. If that's what I want to do, that's just what I'm gonna do. That's it.
What goes through your mind when you're painting? Like, I would look at like this portrait, for an example. You know, like it's you with braids, and then like also the posture. It's like there's something that like
I painted it from the photo. Yeah, I most of the times I paint from photos.
So you paint and then you pose.
In this case, yes. Only this case. But normally I find I'm a very visual person. I have thousands of screenshots from Pinterest, Instagram. I love like photographers, and I love contrast, and I love color. And you know, black skin for me has more color than the white skin.
What does that mean?
So, okay, I will try to explain. When I paint, I use, let's say, like the dark brown skin, right? I will see 50 shades of different colors approximately in one skin color. A few shades of orange, a few shades of red, a few shades of blue, brown, green, everything. Because I'm creating in pop art style. So for me, brown is not just brown or like a few shades of brown. For me, brown is the whole palette, starting from yellow, finishing with like dark purple. And I think that was something like I love the contrast, you know. And I mean, everything, the color looks beautiful on black skin. I'm not being a racist towards myself, I promise. I love white. I love all the skin. But yeah, that's just, but I like the shine and the color, and I love the photography. There's so many artistic
Sorry. Hello. Ni hao. We're doing a podcast.
Thank you. So yeah, I see like I love the contrast. I just see so many colors, and it makes me feel excited, you know. Like from the photos that I see, from the even other paintings of other artists that I see, I'm like, wow. And actually, a lot of people that I would meet for the first time, they would be like, "You're white? I thought you were black." seeing my art. I'm like, yeah.
No, definitely. I mean, I'm looking at this picture, like I'm seeing braids, and also, okay, you in braid as well. I would like really think that it's a black person who drew the picture, like because of the braids and.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No.
That's quite interesting to know, yeah. And so now with art, is it like something that you're doing full time? Actually, we didn't finish the teaching. You taught for a year in China, and then
I switched to drama.
yes,
Yeah.
we spoke about that, and then drama. That's where you learn to paint, and then now are you doing painting?
I didn't learn to
full-time?
paint. I've been painting my whole life. I graduated from the art school when I was 13. I was the youngest, like, A student. I was painting my whole life. When I was little, the only thing that will motivate me to do anything is watercolors and colorful pencils.
My son loves painting as well.
Yeah, but for me, it would be like, I don't want to eat. You can only paint if you finish the food, and I would be finishing that food even though I'm full and it doesn't, like, I really have to stock myself up. But because I can paint after that, that would be my only motivation to do anything. That was like the biggest manipulation of my family, you know. They could make me do anything.
It scares me because my son loves painting, like not painting per se, but he loves art. From feedback from teachers from South Africa, they like when we're doing art, like you can see the way he draws. Now this side as well, and then also he gets like awards at school for art. So
that's amazing. Just don't manipulate. Just let him draw. Let him paint.
And then for his birthday, we went to like an art gallery. Then they had like a children's art something. And then when we got in there, he was so happy, like he's going to paint. And then they were not operational. He was sad. Yeah.
I'm doing art classes. I'm teaching expressive art.
Really?
And I'm gonna do the business camp in the summer for like teenagers.
He's going home.
Okay, but I mean, anyways,
yeah,
we do some activities.
We can plan something.
Yeah, we do some activities.
Because you need canvas and then paint.
We provide the materials. Okay. Like the school, I teach at the center. Like I teach at the school, and it's an expressive art center, and it's beautiful. It's like progressive Chinese parents who believe in self-expression and who believe in the power of art, all kinds of art. Yeah,
because my son is going through a lot, I think, and he needs like.
And we need some men. We need some wonderful men, please.
But he's only cute 7. Girls. He's only 7.
It's okay.
Come.
It's okay.
He'll definitely come. Yeah. So how does art work as a business? Like how did you now turn it into a business?
There were ups and downs. When I just started in 2020, I was like 20, 21, 22. Those were the wonderful years. I started with workshops. I was doing a lot of workshops for women. The workshops were called Inside Out, and it was just women. Creativity boost workshops, mindfulness exercises, and then the last part was the photo part, like creative photo. I was working with a friend. She's a photographer, boudoir photographer. She's amazing. She makes you feel comfortable. She makes you feel home. I don't know anyone like her. Anyone. She's a professional. And it was 3 of us. So my best friend at that time, who she was my business coach and my business mentor, and she actually recognized my talent because I painted her boyfriend first, who is from Zim, and then I painted her and her boyfriend for like their birthdays. I gave them portraits as gifts, and she was like,
oh. So it's been so emotional. And I think I really loved the conversation. Really, when you came, I wanted to just focus more on your career. But I think, the crying, I think I needed that as well. So thank you so much for opening up. I know sometimes it's not easy. Also for me, it's really hard to open up about, my upbringing or my experiences, growing up, because it's not easy, to share those bad experiences. However, they also have shaped who we are. So thank you so much for really opening up.
True. Thank you for crying with me.
Yeah. I think we must meet for coffee and just cry more.
Properly.
And just cry more. Just cry more.
Cry, that's something new.
Yeah. But I think I feel something. I feel really, really much better. So thank you for that.
Me too, actually. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for the things that I've shared today. A lot of them I said for the first time.
Are you
ever.
serious?
Yeah. I've been in denial of who I am for a really long time. Like and it comes from a place of ethnicity and belonging and stuff like that.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
why I said it, like I'm a little like Ukrainian outcast, because I
Mm-hmm.
love that part of me, but I
Mm-hmm.
also have some other parts of me. Yeah, that
Sure,
like
yeah.
they existed and I showed them, but I never talked about them.
Yeah, and I think the more you talk about all the struggles that you had growing up, or things that you're holding on to, the more you talk about them, the more you release, that anger, the pain, like the blockage for, seeing things differently and also growing. So I still need to really open up more
For
because
the anger, we will need to go and find a place where we can kick and
right?
punch things.
I knew that. I
Let it all
really
out,
knew
because
that.
through tears
Yes.
it doesn't go out. You need to let it out. You
Oh.
need to scream it
Mhm.
only, like
It's a
physically.
date. We're doing it. We're doing
Yeah.
it.
First we
And
go cry, and we go punch.
yeah, yes, no, we're definitely doing it. So, what's next? Are you like still staying in China? Do you plan to go back to Ukraine? What does the future look like
I
for
have no
you?
idea. For now, I'm staying.
Yes,
Yeah, for
yeah.
now, I'm staying. I have my company, I have my
Mm-hmm,
visa, and
mm-hmm,
I want to continue. But what exactly I'm gonna do, I don't know, because I have
mm-hmm.
shut down a lot of things.
The art, yeah.
Yeah.
You brought me a gift for the
Yes, I
art,
did
yes.
bring you a gift. The same with
Thank you.
this one. Let me say a couple of words about Paula and
Yes.
how, like, what does this design mean? So
Mm-hmm,
Paula is the woman of power,
mm-hmm,
and she's the woman who does not need to talk to be heard. Like, she speaks
mm-hmm.
through silence,
Okay.
through just looking at you. She's the woman, when she enters the room becomes silent because of her presence. She knows herself. She owes every experience in her life, and she
Mm-hmm,
doesn't need to be told who she is, what she feels, what she shall do.
mm-hmm.
She knows who she is, and she's happy to be that. And she's a different Paula every day. She doesn't have to be the same.
You're gonna make me cry again.
Okay, we've cried enough. Breathe.
And the reason why I'm really like feeling emotional when you're saying like knowing yourself, knowing what you want, because I really went through a journey where I didn't know what I want, I didn't know myself, and I allowed the world to define it for me, and only to get crushed, and then rising to say, this is me, this is what I want, and I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I don't care what other people say, but this is who I am, and I'm going for it. So it's like really, it makes me emotional. Yeah. So
That is a tough experience,
thank
but
you.
sometimes we do need to go to the bottom
Yeah.
to be able to rise, and to be able to really, like,
True.
find that courage within us to tell us, first of all, who is that soul
Oh, thank you so
inside me.
much. Unfortunately, I don't have anything for you.
You have got this for me. Thank you. I'm enjoying this.
But if you're closing, so what's next?
I started doing tattoo art. I have just learned. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm doing tattoo art right now, but yeah,
Because you also like paint yourself. What is it?
Body paint ceremonies that
Mhm.
I've been reading into body paint traditions, like
Okay.
in tribes and different
Mhm.
ethnicities around the world. And
Mhm.
the thing is, nowadays we're not initiated. Nobody initiates anybody, and that's something that our ancestors used to do. But we still go through the same life, like, procedures. We still get our period. We still, like, lose virginity. We still, like, all of those things happen, and they were used to be celebrated, right? Every big event in your life, every like level up used to be celebrated. So body
Yes.
paint is a ritual, is a ceremony.
Mhm.
Like, when you go on another level, it's one of the ways of, like, manifesting or imprinting the past and creating the new future. Yeah, it's
I think we need more with her, because I mean, talking about initiation is like a whole different conversation. Because also in South Africa, like I look at males, like when they get initiated, like it's like a whole topic on its own. So you do that.
I used to do it, but I
Okay.
also learned something about
Mhm.
a very important part of it is
Mhm.
I cannot initiate women who are older than me. I can only initiate the younger ones. I don't have a right to do that. You can only be initiated by an older woman. So yeah,
Okay.
that's why, not that's why, but I have a spiritual mentor. She's in her 40s, and we sometimes do some projects together where I'm responsible for the art part. I
Okay.
provide like the techniques, the knowledge there, and she takes you on a journey. She initiates, she yeah, opens the space and stuff like that, and I'm just mostly doing like the art part from my side, because I, even younger women, I don't really have the rights to do that, because I haven't gone through all the initiations properly myself.
So you must basically graduate in order for you to become an initiator. Okay. It sounds like you've done quite a lot of things. Like you've taught, and then you did drama, and then you did now painting, art. Like, have you ever like sat down and maybe look at how the future looks like? But it's and spiritual as well.
Yeah, spiritual aspect is everything. It's a part of my business. It's nothing exists without it. Last year I had so many dreams and I had so many plans, and none of them worked out. I was failing a day after day after day after day. Everything that I planned did not work out. Yeah, I last year was something else. Yeah. So at this point, honestly, I'm a little bit scared to plan anything.
Okay.
But also I'm trying just to be in the present, because last year broke me many times. I used to be, I was talking to my ex, and who is my good friend right now, and I was like, you met me a year and a half ago, and I was radiant, and I was vibrant, and I was full of life. I didn't know anyone who would love life more than me, and now I don't know what I'm doing.
How does the broken version of you feel or look at life?
I don't have that many senses. I don't have that much motivation. I don't have that much, energy of like, if I want to do something.
It's like a burnout.
Yeah, but it's a burnout. Like, I've been depressed so many times, like in the past year, like up till now, that I've never felt so down
But
before.
what's causing the depression?
A little failure feels like really, really big. So, like, when something doesn't work out, after so many things that didn't work out, it started to be difficult for me to pay attention to wins. I think I dived a little bit into negative mindset, and my goal is to not to stay there too long, and to finally start making new choices and believing that I am deserving and worth of the new stuff. Because everything that was happening, it was also me kind of attracting all of that,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Not entirely. I mean, they are also.
I believe in that
outside factors
100%,
as well.
honestly.
But now you're experiencing that. You are in a foreign country. Do you also feel like maybe that has played and like a role into it? Do you ever feel like maybe if you're in Ukraine, maybe you could have be flourishing in your business or something?
I don't think so.
Okay.
China is home. China is also home for me. Recently, I've been having flashbacks from Crimea, because it's an island and it's surrounded by the sea, and it's the most beautiful place I've ever been to. It has the mountains, it has the lagoons, the sea, dolphins, it has everything like combined. Bali, Philippines, everything. It has it's some kind of a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, different climates, different everything. And I've been having flashbacks from Crimea, so I decided to go to the sea, to Anaya,
Okay.
and just to be like, to spend a little bit of time at the beach. But I never thought and felt like China is a foreign country. I don't like.
You've been here for how long?
8 years.
Okay. Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, but like, it's interesting because you're saying foreign country, and I'm like, I don't feel like it's like, I know it's a foreign country, but I don't feel it's a foreign country.
That's good. That's good. If you've got that sense of belonging. I think one of the people that I interviewed, and I was asking about the moves, they're moving from one country to another, and the response was more of home is where your heart is. And it felt like, actually, because for me, I was living 1,500 kilometers away from home, but still I was in South Africa. The only difference was different language, but a lot of things were familiar. But at the same time, it's like you want to be close to home, where if something happens, you want to quickly rush home, but then it felt like home. So it really felt like home. And even here, when I'm in China, it also feels like home in a way. Yeah.
I think for me, Crimea had it was a similar experience, because it was also kind of like far from home, but it was like a night by train, and then I'm home. It's all like similar language, similar everything, but yeah, it's different here, definitely different. But I cannot say that I don't know if I would be flourishing. I don't know, like I don't know the if questions. I'm not a big fan of if questions because we don't know.
True.
So yeah.
So in closing, for somebody who would like to work outside of their home country or experience life outside of their home country, what would you advise them?
I would advise, first of all, to learn a little bit about the law, the legislative systems, the legal part. It's very important, whatever you are doing, because a lot of people like do something, I wouldn't call it mistakes, but they just don't know entirely what they're doing.
Yes.
And then, bam, they either get deported or something happens. So legal part is very important. That's something that I started from there.
Okay.
Yeah. And I actually consult on opening companies, opening a company in Beijing. Yeah, from my own experience.
And how does it work?
It's very simple. It's very simple. You need like a few documents. You need a lease agreement, like if you have an office.
Okay.
And you just apply for, you need the bachelor's degree. You need, so because my visas are like, my passport is all in Chinese visas, I don't need the work experience document. But it depends on your age and everything. Like sometimes they require that. Also, when I was opening the company for the second time, I provided a business plan to the government through my agents, and I got a free office online address for 2 years. So, and that's the biggest investment. So I have a free office. Yeah.
I think we're gonna have like another discussion. I don't want this interview to be too long. We've got a lot of topics actually, so we will have a part 2 where she will come back and we'll talk more about the business and also the spiritual or the initiation journey. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank
Annette.
you. I'm
It was
excited for
really
part 2. I
great.
didn't know it was happening, but I'm happy.
I mean, there's just a lot. I want to ask so many things, but the time is very limited. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
It's been
to
wonderful.
you, my colleagues, thank you so much for tuning in. If it's the first time joining in, please don't forget to subscribe. And to everyone who's really been part of this journey, thank you so much. Thank you a million times. I really appreciate your support, and also I see the likes. I see also the growth in the channel. So thank you for contributing into this journey, and we'll chat again. So be kind and gentle. Bye.